Imagine being born into a world where you have no control over your destiny. Your survival is dependent on others, and even the slightest mistake could cost you everything. You're born not into a world of comfort, but into the cold, unforgiving wild. Now, you may be thinking, that sounds rough, but wait, why would anyone want to be born as a YouTube? Yes, you heard me right. A YouTube. Before you start to scratch your head, let's take a deep dive into why, contrary to what you might expect, it sucks to be born as a YouTube. Spoiler alert, it's not just about posting videos and gaining followers. It's about survival, challenges, and, believe it or not, constant pressure. So, buckle up. This is the wild life of being a YouTube. First, let's set the stage. In the wild world of digital content, the birth of a YouTube is, shall we say, a bit more eventful than you might think. From the very beginning, this platform brings with it a mountain of challenges and responsibilities that can make even the most seasoned creators tremble in their boots. A newborn YouTube's first challenge is getting noticed. Unlike in the wild, where a baby animal can rely on its mother or pack for protection, a YouTube's protection is, well, essentially its content. And in the jungle of the internet, attention is the key to survival. Every day, hundreds of thousands of videos are uploaded, competing for those precious views and clicks. In this chaotic environment, even if you manage to create the most entertaining or informative video, you're still at risk of being overshadowed by another viral sensation or trending topic. To survive, you must constantly fend off invisibility, which is like the digital equivalent of a predator lurking around the corner. But the battle doesn't end there. YouTube faces the constant threat of criticism and hate. From the moment a video goes live, it's open to anyone with an internet connection. Criticism is inevitable, and the pressure to avoid negative comments, dislikes, or public backlash becomes a part of the survival instinct for any content creator. You might find yourself in the middle of a heated online debate, much like a young gazelle trying to avoid a pack of predators. Now, let's talk about foraging. Just as animals in the wild have to constantly search for food to stay alive, a YouTube has to forage for fresh content to stay relevant. And the challenges here are multifaceted. You can't just wait for inspiration to strike, no, you need a strategy, consistency, and creativity. In the wild, animals like birds or squirrels spend countless hours searching for food. Similarly, a YouTube creator spends countless hours brainstorming, researching, and creating content. It's a never-ending cycle, and the pressure to produce high-quality videos consistently can be overwhelming. Without a steady supply of fresh content, a YouTube risks losing followers, and without followers, survival becomes a distant dream. But here's the kicker, just like how animals must constantly adapt to seasonal changes, trends in the YouTube ecosystem can shift rapidly. What's trending today might be forgotten tomorrow. For example, a video about a popular video game might draw millions of views one month, but the next month, bam, it's old news. The need for continuous reinvention is the digital equivalent of an animal evolving to survive in changing environments. Just as in the animal kingdom, young creatures often rely on parental figures or mentors to learn how to navigate the world, a YouTube's growth also depends on guidance. Some may look to seasoned creators for tips and tricks on how to climb the algorithm or create better content. Others might mimic successful YouTubers, replicating the style and format that worked for them. But is that enough? Here's where it gets tricky. The digital space doesn't always offer the kind of mentorship you might hope for. If you're a fledgling YouTube, you don't exactly have a teacher teaching you the ropes. Instead, you learn by trial and error, often falling into traps of copying others, hoping that success will follow. The digital ecosystem is not kind to the copycat either. It rewards originality, creativity, and innovation, but it's also hard to break free from the noise. And when things don't go as planned, the pressure can be crushing. The fear of becoming irrelevant or burnt out can be all-consuming, especially when you're surrounded by millions of others trying to do the same thing. For every rise, there's often a fall, and when it happens, a YouTube is left scrambling to figure out what went wrong. If there's one thing a YouTube fears above all else, it's the algorithm. It's like a relentless beast that controls whether your video gets seen by the masses or disappears into the abyss of obscurity. Every new YouTube is faced with the dilemma of how do I beat the algorithm? Unlike the peaceful coexistence we often imagine in the animal kingdom, the relationship a YouTube has with the algorithm is far more combative. Sometimes, the algorithm works in your favor, pushing your video to new audiences. But more often than not, it's a constant battle to understand its ever-changing rules. New updates, changes in user preferences, and even regional variations can completely alter how your videos are received. It's a relentless game of adaptation, one that doesn't always lead to victory. In the wild, animals may face predators, food scarcity, and environmental changes. Similarly, the life of a YouTube is filled with battles, both internal and external. From the need for constant content creation to the overwhelming pressure of staying relevant and surviving in an unforgiving environment, the challenges are immense. But despite it all, the YouTube persists, constantly adapting, creating, and evolving. Survival isn't guaranteed, and not every YouTube will thrive. But for those who endure the hardships, learning to navigate through criticism, foraging for fresh ideas, and confronting the unforgiving algorithm, the rewards can be substantial. In the end, it's resilience, raw, unfiltered resilience, that allows a YouTube to thrive in the digital jungle. So, next time you scroll through your YouTube feed, remember that the person behind that video is a survivor of the digital wilderness, battling through the grind every single day. It may not be easy, but somehow, they make it work. And in the world of YouTube, that's nothing short of remarkable.